Okay, the running of the Melbourne Cup is on Tuesday.
Yes.
It is the grand final, isn't it, for the spring?
Sure is.
It's a big day. It's the day we've all been waiting for, and it's finally arrived. So we want to run down the whole field, give our brief thoughts on the horses that we think are going to be the players, and then at the end of that, I think we'll give our selections, and including Matthews, who's just...
I've got them.
You've got him. He's just texted them through, hasn't he?
Yes.
He's a genius, man. Even in his deathbed, he's sending us through selections.
He's a very sick young man, but he'll be right.
Penicillin will help, and the cure is only just probably months away. But all right, we'll start off with Septimus. I guess we'll start off with the top weight, and we'll work down rather than doing it in order of price. We'll do it in order of entry.
Sure.
Your thoughts on Septimus, mate?
I'm really confounded by Septimus. Everything about his form suggests that he's by far and away the best horse in the field, and certainly the best of the European horses.
Agreed.
Everything about the way he races and the fact that he's got 58.5 suggests to me that he might struggle to beat a couple of those home and also a couple of our horses. So I think he's one that you just really have to put in all your multiples because he's too good a horse to leave out. But at the same time, I genuinely think that there's a couple that might have his measure, just given the fact that we've got different racing pattern over here and the fact that he's going to have to give some weight to some of these horses. I think that in the past years, just putting using a couple of examples like Oscar Schindler and Vinnie Rowe, who were clearly the best horses to come during their year, and yet they were beaten by horses from Europe which they would have had lengths on over there. So I think to just blindly look at the form, it's dangerous because you really have to look at pattern and weights and all the other things. He just worries me that he's that high knee action sort of rolling along type of horse rather than that horse that's got that electric turn of foot that I love to see. So for mine, Septimus, he's an each way hope. He's probably one that I'll put more in for my second and third placings, and I'm prepared to bypass him as a winner of the race. Look,
a win by him is not going to surprise me. His form, like you say, in England is just, or in Europe as a matter of fact, is just outstanding. And we've gone through and had a look and compared horses he's contested or horses he's beaten with the other runners in the race, and his form is far superior. There's no mistaking that he is the best European horse in the race. However, once again, he's got to acclimatise to our conditions or run under our conditions, so that he may not do that. But from all reports, the O'Brien camp's very pleased with the horse. So I've just got to. I'm not going to discount him. He's certainly going to be in my top 4 somewhere. And if we get any rain leading into Tuesday, Flemington, I think that's going to improve his chances even more. So yeah, one thing a point I'd like to make about Septimus, his connections came out today in the media, Coolmore, and suggested that the track was unsafe in their opinion on Saturday, and that basically saying they want the track watered if it doesn't rain.
Yeah, and my response to that is Tullamarine Airport's not too far away. If you don't like the track conditions, then take the horse and go back home, because you're racing in Australia, you're a guest, you know what the conditions are going to be like.
Before you get here.
I think it's incredibly arrogant to try to dictate how our conditions should be like. If you don't like them, go home.
But it's been something they've been trying for years. Even Dermot World for years has been campaigning that sort of...
I think they've had a bit of a win because the track's going to be dead on Tuesday. It's artificially moderated to make it dead, which I don't mind, because I think that, look, at the end of the day, we are breeding a softer bone type of horse now, and they probably appreciate a little bit of give in the track. However, that doesn't mean that the track should run as slow.
No, it won't be, mate.
And it shouldn't be, Arvo, and I think that it really irks me to see that they come out and try and manipulate the authorities
by threatening to take their horse home.
Yeah, take it home. Like, so, we've raced here for over 100 years.
Without getting too involved in the politics of it, I know what you're saying, and I totally agree with you.
Look, they do a lot of Coolmore do a lot of positives, So, but look, I didn't like that, and I think that the horse, he's a chance, but I think for multiples.
Okay, Master O'Reilly.
got none in my opinion. Had his chance last year, not going good enough. Don't like it.
No, I don't see him winning either, especially with 55 kilos. It's too closely weighted to some of the others, and like you say, the 3,200
Had his
metres.
chance last year
And
and failed.
I just didn't think his run the Cox Plate was good enough anyway. Honolulu.
Definite chance. The horse that seems to have the right type of pattern for our racing. That fast type of stayer with a good turn of foot. Has drawn the car park, which shouldn't be a problem for the Irish jockey because they usually find that they're 16 deep anyway in the race. They like to have a bit of galloping room there. He'll get back, so look for him to run on in the straight. I think he's a chance.
Yeah, look, I take last year's E-Ball he ran in June 19 of 19, and he went back that day last settling and ran home well and ran second in that. So to Purple Moon, which has since franked that form by running second last year. So going on that, Honolulu definitely has to be respected. Saligo.
Difficult horse for me to assess. A horse that's got a lot of ability, a New Zealand Derby winner, has form over 2,400 metres, has a pedigree to suggest he should be able to cope with it. Lightly framed horse. They were umming and ahhing whether they were going to, go for this race. I don't know if they were foxing with the media. I'm going to leave him out. Might be at my peril, but I just think he's a bit new, and I'll wait for him for next year.
Yeah, a bit confusing because they were never really going to run him in this year's race.
They do fox a lot.
They do fox a lot, I know. But I thought his last two starts in the Yalumba and the Cox Plate were very good. But again, he needs help. I do think he needs a wet track. If he gets the wet track and reproduces that New Zealand Derby form where he's beaten Nom de Jeu home by about 6 or 8 lengths or whatever it was, he's definitely a chance. But he does need the wet track. And his form last two starts have been quite acceptable for me. But again, I think he needs a rain-affected track, and maybe he's a bit new. But he certainly has the ability, doesn't he, the horse?
Yeah, he wouldn't surprise, but I just think next year for him.
Okay, Nom de Jeu.
Nom de Jour warming more and more to him every day. It was in my mind that Mad Rush could not be beaten a couple of weeks ago, but I've gone back, watched the videos of the race. His run was every bit as good as Mad Rush's. He's a horse that's proven in our conditions. He's drawn barrier 1, so he's going to get a gun run there. He's probably not going to go around a horse, just sit off the pace. I think he's an absolute, moral to run in the top 3, and I actually think he's going to win the race. He's my tip to win the race, Nom de Jour. Dangerous to shift this late in the piece, but everything about him suggests that he's a second to none chance, and I think he's going to be right there.
I totally agree with you, mate. He has to be in everyone's selections. He has to be in everyone's multiples. There's nothing. His form this time in has been totally outstanding over weight for age distances, like over a mile, up to 24 of the Caulfield Cup. He is primed. He's perfect going. Everything's got going for him. There's nothing like his damn prize gem won a Brisbane Cup or something like that.
2 mile race.
Monsieur, the sire, Derby winner.
Ticks all the boxes.
Everything. This horse, with some of the other horses like Septimus and that, question marks over they're going to make the transition. This horse has ticked all the boxes.
Even a jockey, he's not a pretty rider at all. Probably one of the ugliest looking riders.
His style, you mean?
Well, I'll just say style. On the horse, doesn't sit on pretty, but a very effective rider,
That's
a
right.
very strong rider, very good in the staying race. So he ticks all the boxes.
All the boxes.
He's my tip for the race.